So here's your shop, Charlie. Your new 30 by 60.
Yep, pay as I went. I bought the shop. We finished the Hog Lagoon project. I think there's some YouTube videos of, yeah, you come down there and we tried out the dump truck and you loaded with a 225.
Oh yeah.
Took the profit off of that job, bought this building. It laid in the yard for 2 years. And then I poured concrete around the outside edges, bond beams, and got somebody to come put it up, and it sat here another 2 years with a dirt floor and no electricity in it, no doors. And then my buddy Kevin Penela from Penn Foundations come in and he poured the pit.
We can see that from the front.
We poured the, oh, I put the crane in. He still had
yeah, you had the crane. You still had to.
I bought this overhead crane off of eBay for like, I think it was $3,500. I'm serious. And did a little bit of engineering when I put it in here because it just fits. This is everything by about an inch. And that's about it. And it'll pick up.
Will it smash that light fixture
3
over?
tons out 24 foot. And it'll cover about 90% of the shop. Watch how close it comes to everything as it goes around.
But you wanted,
almost touches the light.
You wanted maximum height out of it.
Maximum height, so there's 11 yards of concrete in this place. It's 5 foot deep and it's got 2 mats and number 7 rebar in it. And then we come in here and stood this and leveled it up and grouted underneath it. And then we brought that in, and it has to go up about 3 inches to fit over there. To drop down on it, that's how it works. It sits on the bearing in the top.
Yeah.
And we actually picked it up in the center. I welded an eyelet in the balance point. I found the balance point and in the top, you can't see it. But I welded an eyelet and picked it up with the knuckle on the 300 at the end. I run a chain over the cylinder and it touched the beam, but it was enough that it would just drop down over top of there. And then of course the hoist was 3-phase, so I had to get 3-phase power for the shop. Anyway, put this in, still dirt floor. Poured the pit up underneath here.
Oh, you can see the pit now.
Go on it. And they've got casters and stuff so that you can roll them around when you take them out, stack them. Of course, you take them out with the overhead crane.
You've got drains and ventilation in there?
Yeah, ventilation. It's got a ventilation fan in there and a sump pump down inside there. Got that done. Then bought insulated doors with closers with remotes. In all my vehicles, you can open and close the doors. Put a 3-phase water source heat pump in here. Air conditioning unit. So you can have it 72 degrees in the summer or whatever you want. It works off of water because water is, 65 degrees in the summer or winter. It's a heat pump, so do either one. And then I bought we use a lot of oil. We got an oil tank over here, Dello 1540 for doing service work. And we got a waste oil heater here, and boy, it works good. It's nice.
It'll get it about 90 in here really quick.
It's nice heat comes out of it. But anyway, of course, it's not big enough. You fill it up.
They never are.
Fast.
Well, you could always add on, couldn't you?
Yeah,
if you need
I
to make
poured
it.
concrete on the back, and I'm going to pour an apron on the front. There's a 30 by 40 apron on the back, 7.5 inches reinforced.
What we doing to the dump truck?
Oh yeah, well, there's a video on my YouTube of rebuilding this. It lasted about 200,000 miles, and it blew the head gasket and broke a piece of the piston right here. Of course, that's all that coal that it rolls,
That power.
Well, for a DT, it does all right. Anyway,
You're
they just don't hold up.
Your big international.
Anyway, got a reman head and another 4-ring piston kit to put in here. But it's a lot better than working on the dirt.
What have you been hauling?
Washout from the batch plant at Harbor Freight. They hired me to haul out all the washout, and then we turn around and crush it.
And there's poor Big Blue.
Yeah, the motor for it's sitting in there. So, and of course, there's a bunch of trees we took down because we didn't want Hurricane
Absolutely not.
Florence to throw trees on the shop.
And that's what's left of the 225 we drug with the D6 that day, isn't it?
That's it. It's pretty much stripped down.
You about got all. How'd you like that stumper? I see a stumper up there.
It works good. We don't do much.
You don't do a lot of clearing now. It's all.
A little bit, but not much. But anyway, I wanted to put a shelter on the top of this, but I found out that it was as much money as the shop to do a 30 by 30 shelter, so I ended up
building one over there.
Over there, a 40 by
60
over there to put my stuff up underneath. And poured 5.5 inches of concrete under that. See, I made to mention that I haul out washout for Dawkins Concrete. Well, we do a lot of trading. I haul the washout out, and then I get concrete.
They come pour you a nice laser screeded slab.
Actually, Ace Avant Concrete poured this, but I got the concrete from Dawkins. But and I made a deal with them. I had gone to Greensboro and picked up the laser screed and carried it to Wallace, North Carolina, and didn't charge them anything for that. And I went up there in Wallace and picked it up and brought it down here, which is about 2 hours away, and they come and screeded it, and then I carried it back for them the same day. And they had owed me a little bit more money from doing the inland port, and we traded out the rest of that money, I think, for the finishing. And Concrete Strategies did the form work. I'm working for them out there at Harbor Freight. So. Anyway, it's better than working on the dirt.
Absolutely. Not
the mechanic actually works out here a lot.
Really?
Outside, yeah.
Just a nice open environment.
Because the shop gets full.
Well, nothing like a nice controlled environment when it's nasty outside, though.
Well, it's pretty nice. It just could have been bigger, but I wanted something I could heat and cool. You know, and you can't go crazy. I mean, really, in the heat of the summer, the power bill's $400 or $500 if you run the air conditioner like 24 hours a day.
Yeah, but
it costs to
operate.
It costs to keep it that cool. The old mechanic liked the air on all the time. The new one doesn't, so that saves me a little bit of money. So
I'm sure everybody will like your new shop.
During the hurricane, we didn't know how high the winds were going to get, so I hooked a D4 to the
camper.
It hadn't run in several months, but
your 1968 D4.
68.
This was when I first met you. Your only dozer.
Yeah, I put new undercarriage on it, wider undercarriage, widened out the blade.
But would you believe that was only about 10 years ago?
Yeah, we've changed a little bit.
We've grown a little bit. How many dozers you got now? This one, the D6, the D5. You still have the 750?
Yeah.
And the 750. So you got 4. Just purrs right along.
What?
Just purrs right along, doesn't it? You think the new modern stuff is going to do this in 50 years?
No, the computer stuff won't let it. The wire harnesses will degrade. All that kind of stuff. I mean, it just won't. I mean, it's nicer and it's more comfortable and it's more productive, but you're never going to get the hours out of it.
Are you saying this is still going to be running when everything else is getting new electronics?
Well,
unfortunately, yes.
Probably.
I love new stuff, but it's the truth.
I mean, it's a lot more comfortable and it's more productive, but it's just not designed to last as long because they want to sell more equipment, which I understand that. I mean, you know, if you can make something last 10 years or 15, 20,000 hours, that's enough to get your money back out of it and somebody buy something newer, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, will this dozer still be running? Yeah. And will I still probably own it? Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, I got the second diaper I ever shit in. I would have had the first one, but they took it away from my daddy at the hospital when I was born, so.
Yeah, Charlie, we know you don't get rid of anything.
Well, I've sold a few things over the years, but not much.
That's because you had picked every part that was left on it off.
I don't know. I used it a job around the corner and 6 months ago or whatever. I knocked some dirt down with it, but it doesn't eat anything, and
it's here.
I don't know. It just is what it is. I mean, it held the camper from blowing away. I mean, that's great. Well, here we are in Dillon, South Carolina. We just lived through Hurricane Florence. There's still some flooding going on. I'm really glad that it didn't hit as a Category 4 or 5 like we thought it would. Still a lot of flooding damage and stuff like that, but as it was coming, we thought it might come ashore as a 4 or 5, 120 plus mile an hour winds, and I got a little concerned. You know, my house is good for 100 and my shop is good for 120. And I took down every tree. I spent a day taking down every tree around it that could touch the shop, because that was my first place that I was going to go if the wind got high. Well, I thought about it and I said, you know, there could be tornadoes, there could be, you know, winds over 120 mile an hour. Just exactly what am I going to do? Well, I had a shipping container. I store stuff in it, and I decided, you know, the shipping container is fairly strong. So I chained the dozer to one end of the shipping container. I put it out here on high ground in case the water got up. Put a 210 Komatsu on one end, butted the tracks up against it, and went to the tie down and up there to the container. Again, I'm thinking about, you know, wind lift and not wanting it to blow away. And put the boom over it, and took the 325 that one of my guys cleared and broke the glass on, and wiped some lights off the top of it the other day. But anyway, same thing. I bound it down with a 5,800 pound chain doubled, so that's 10,000 pounds, and laid the boom across the top to kind of hold it down. And I guess we didn't need it, but this was my plan if the weather got bad. And I dogged down one door, and I was just going to pull the other door shut or leave it open or whatever. I mean, I figured just one door open and the wind was going the other way, that, you know, we would be better than, you know, no protection at all. So anyway, this was just something that I could come up with quick. But thankfully the winds just weren't there, and I went ahead and made a video because I've got to go fix an earthen dam, and I got to move the 325. So Creek 18 had asked me to make a video because he wanted to post it to his YouTube channel. So there's my redneck storm shelter. I mean, I guess whatever works, right? You use what you've got.